So, I've got some great news for you guys. The ARK charity stream was a massive success, and they passed their donation goal of $65,000. As a reward for passing that milestone and breaking their record, they called one of the executives at Studio Wildcard, and they got permission to show us something super special. This is something that they kept out of the hands of everyone because it is one of the most requested features within ARK. It is called the CryoPod. And for those of you who don't know what a CryoPod is basically a glorified Pokeball. You can store your creatures in there, and you can release them from that CryoPod as well. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to let these guys go down through this and explain everything about the CryoPod. I won't be talking much during this, obviously, so you can get everything, I guess, answered. This is basically everything you need to know about the CryoPod for those of you who are interested. And they also showed the engrams by accident. We'll get to that in a second.
Holly.
Look at that. If you had that 2080 Ti earlier.
What's that in your hand there?
Money.
So, you guys have been wanting to know about the cryopods. We're gonna show you a little bit about
A lot of people in the chat asked.
So as soon as you throw it out, and I have a problem here because I actually threw one out on accident right before this.
Whoops.
And there's a debuff you get for throwing one out. You can see it in the bottom right corner, the cryo sickness. If you throw more than one dino out at a time, you're actually gonna cause cryo sickness for the following dino, which means they're gonna be asleep. And this one is going to be unconscious for about 3 minutes. And then the following one that I throw out is going to be just as bad or worse. It's going to keep increasing. So you're going to be able to summon your dinos, but you're not going to be able to summon an entire army immediately.
For balance reasons.
For balance reasons, obviously.
Easy balance.
Can't wait that time. So we're just gonna speed the server up a little bit to pass through that cryo sickness time. But as you can see with the Rex over here, whenever they are spawned out, whenever they do come out, if you had a saddle on them when you cryoed them, they'll keep that saddle on them. It'll be the same saddle. They'll pop out with the saddle ready to go. There is one thing with the cryo sickness. If they have a saddle on and they're in cryo sickness, they're actually gonna take more damage. So using these to throw out a bunch of just tanks to sit in front of turrets to soak up bullets isn't going to be an option. They're going to go away pretty quick. But you're going to be able to use these pretty much anywhere the dino will fit. It does a check to make sure that it can fit and that it fits in that area. Now we can re-cryo him with beautiful effects, more hexagons.
Wow.
Let's see if we can get a dino out that we can actually ride. If we had a saddle. He was supposed to be my sleeper. So once you throw it out, it's free to ride. You can put it back in and store it back up. So if you're going around farming, this is one of the perfect things to do. Storing your dino or going out to find loot crates. If you're much faster on foot or you have a much tankier dino like a stego that you want to bring to a horde crate, this is a great way to bring them. Or ride on a passenger saddle dino and take your slow dinos in the cryo. And yeah, the cryos are transferable across map. They are reusable, as you just saw. I used the same one twice. And then you have your cryo station where you actually put your cryopods in. As long as it's powered, they will stay good to go infinitely. They're good to go forever for the rest of the time as long as they're in this structure. As far as on your inventory, they do have a decay timer. It's going to be a lot longer than it is now. We have testing values in now just so that it's easier to test the decay to make sure that it's all working properly and it doesn't happen when it shouldn't happen, or cases where it shouldn't happen. But they will be transferable. They'll essentially be like an item, but they'll count as a dino as far as other things. So they will be an item. So there'll be a lot of new things that this opens up. A lot of new areas you can bring dinos that you maybe couldn't before. A lot of the cave volumes are going to be protected. If dinos aren't supposed to be in that area, then cryos would be prevented too. or certain dinos aren't supposed to be in that area, cryos will be prevented. It requires a tech generator for the actual cryo fridge. You can put the cryopods in an actual fridge or refrigerator, and it will increase their decay or decrease their decay rate by like half. I want to say I can't remember. Let me get a few.
Which question?
Can you cryo wild dinos? Which I think you can, but you can't on PvE. It's a lot easier for me because I'm an enemy invisible, so they can't see me. They don't know I'm here. So it's not like an attack. It won't come out as a tame, but it will come out as a wild dino. Oh, nope. We fixed it. We decided not to go with it. I guess it's a little
strong.
Just throw a dino at someone. I was really for it, though. But no, you can't. But you can't tame your own dinos. It's hard to see on the sheep. They're just so fluffy.
You're fluffy.
They're so fluffy. But you can pull in your dinos. You can pull in as many as you want. Cryoing dinos actually is going to give you an XP buff, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe so.
Like a very small one. But for those, they know who they are, but for those individuals who have massive bases, there's a lot of incentive to cryo a lot of their dinos. One, they'll improve their server performance, and they won't have to worry about feeding or anything like that. As soon as they're in stasis and they're in the cryopod, they are good to go. There's nothing being drained. The only cost is either the power for the fridge or the power for the cryo fridge, which will keep them forever. They won't keep their inventory, but they will keep their saddle. So as far as like anything in their inventory, it'll be the same as transferring. It'll just drop it. So the cost to build it was very, very, very much talked about, but I think you guys will be very happy with.
So here are the engrams, and I can confirm right now there's nothing really special or quote-unquote leaked, unfortunately. There was one thing that I saw, but it's not really a big deal. The balloon thing, whatever. Okay.
What we've come up with, they're pretty cheap. We want people to use them. We want people to be able to use them. CryoFridge is much more realistic prices, but the CryoPod, we want people to use them. We want them to be available to everyone. We want to assist with helping with our overpopulation of our servers as much as possible and bring the game back to a good playable state to where the dinos that you don't need, you can keep them. You're not getting rid of them. You're just storing them. You can steal one. You can steal cryopods. I'm not sure what happens when you throw someone else's cryopod out. I don't remember at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head.
Or maybe that's for a later date.
Yeah, there's one or two things that could happen
not,
there.
I don't remember, and I don't want to tell you any misinformation.
Yeah.
So cooldowns will not go down. So if you are actually breeding a dino and you are imprinting on it, you can cryo them and freeze their imprint.
That's something that's gonna help out a lot for people
so
trying
you
to
can freeze the imprint and store it away while you sleep. Whatever it is, you go on vacation, and then you come out, you come back to the game. You can uncryo them and continue your imprinting. Cryo fridge has quite a few slots, 72. So that's a significant amount of dinos. It's not a vault significant, but they're not that big. So, like I said, we really want to make sure that we're supplying something that's actually useful. We want to help bring the situation with the servers into a much more manageable state. And we totally understand that the way the game is designed, you are encouraged to have dinos. You're encouraged to have multiples of each type. But there's no need to have them out all the time. So this way, you have that ability to keep those dinos. You can still get eggs for kibbles. You can still get all those things, but you don't have to have them out all the time. Always ticking on the server, always at a server cost. It will. As soon as you cryo the dino, they're no longer counted as a dino on the server. They are now officially fully an item. All their stats and data are transferred on that. So for PvE servers, it's going to really open them up to have whole new sets of taming slots hopefully, as long as people go out and use it. As you saw in the one horde crate we finished, we're also dropping these things out of horde crates. We're trying to make them accessible as much as we can. As soon as you get to the point where you could do an easy horde crate, you can already start sending cryopods back to your server to help out with your dinos, or just bringing them back, or bringing anything you tame here back. But anything tameable, I think, is cryoable.
Might have some
Except for
exceptions.
maybe raid dinos.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe raid dinos.
I want to
Anything
say
else
those
I
are
think-
about the only thing that you can't cryo.
Yeah.
No, you cannot cryo rafts.
You could for a very
You could
very
for a little
short
bit,
stint.
and it made for some beautiful, beautiful pictures. And it would even save the structures, I think, on it.
Yeah, I think so.
It was capable of doing it, but that was definitely not something we could do.
Yeah.
And because the raft doesn't die whenever it's out of water, you could just drop it anywhere, and there's just the floating raft. It was that was a fun bug.
Yeah,
That was a
that was-
fun bug, but we fixed that. And it's too strong to be able to pop out a fully built raft. Oh, I can't go to the engrams because then that would be showing a lot more
Yeah.
than we want to show. There's some secrets still in there. There's still actually plenty of secrets.
Can we cryo trimates?
You cannot cryo tribe mates. And you should not be able to cryo dinos that a tribe mate is standing on, but I should try it.
Yeah. Can't stand still. We're trying to take your sheep.
Nope. System's too good.
Yeah, we
System's too
taxidermy.
good. I'm not sure about the Titans. I want to say probably not, though. It's because they are a limited in time tame. And yes, you can cryo water dinos. The only thing that you have to do is be standing still long enough while being in close contact. So if you do get shot while trying to cryo, it will be it'll cancel out your cryo attempt. Right now we're shooting for a period longer than a week at least.
Yeah. And indefinite, right?
And then indefinite inside the fridge, the cryo fridge. Much longer than a week. Maybe. Or maybe not. Much longer.
We'll make it work. We want these to be used.
I'm not sure the exact number, or if we've officially settled on it, so I don't want to go too far into that. But we do want them to be long enough lasting that they will work for you, but they're not the ultimate goal. Like the ultimate goal is to still get a cryo fridge. When the cryo runs out, you need to make sure the cryo doesn't run out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things we could do, and all of those things are very not 100% reliable, and we would hate to create an expectation that there's always a safety net as far as the cryopod expiring. So right now, if it expires, if you let it decay, that's it. The dino failed. So make sure to keep your cryos in order. And then on top of that, if you are running low, even if you just have a friend with a tech fridge, you can just give them your dinos. And then as soon as you put them in there, they start to charge back up and they renew their decay timer. But yeah, that's actually no, we're doing a lot of our tech engrams like normal engrams. Because just the way the Titans are designed, creating a system where you had to defeat them to get the engrams is not something we wanted to force players into. We're aware that there are some smaller tribes that are going to have issues with them because this is an in-game thing. So we wanted to not lock them away from content because of that. And still encourage them to have a way to communicate and get together and do things with the rest of the server. You can cryo all things, I think. Just about all things. Maybe not all the things, but a lot of the things.
Yeah, I can't think of things that you can't.
All right, and I think that's about all I can show right now.
Right? Yeah.
So that's it for now on ARK. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section about everything you just learned about the CryoPod and I guess how they used it in game. What do you think of the special effects that come with this thing? What do you think in general this is going to mean for the gameplay. Is this going to affect raiding on a massive scale? Like, what happens if you have like 30 people in a tribe and they all just throw them at once and completely raid your base? Can you put gigas in a cryopod? There's so many things and so many questions. I think the fatal flaw with this, guys, if I can throw my opinion here, if you have a lot of high level dinosaurs stored in your base and your base gets raided, and you get the idea, right? Like, you lose a lot of creatures really fast. Like, the potential is here for massive success. The potential is here for some of the biggest losses in ARK history in the way of taming and time spent on the game. It's kind of scary putting that kind of power in the hands of the players. All right, let me know your thoughts down below. Again, leave a like if you did enjoy this video, and I will see you in the next one.